takes you right away to the Day of Judgment. That means, what does it mean? It means at the end of the dua, that we are going to Allah at the end. We are returning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That means what? The Day of Judgment. That means the hisab, that means the reward, that means the punishment, that means the hell, and that means heaven. Very important that you see these connections. Everything is interconnected. And that interconnection shows you that if it says anything, it shows the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That things were not just created and left alone like that. Things don't just happen. I said a few times or a few months ago, remember if you say one word, sometimes one word affects not only yourself, not only affects your people around you, not only affects the population, your family, it affects the world, it affects the rain, it affects the geography, it affects the land, it affects the rivers, it affects the moon. One word you said. فَقُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ إِنَّهُ كَانَ غَفَّارًا. You say astaghfirullah, and what happens? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if you say astaghfirullah, Allah will forgive you. One, إِنَّهُ كَانَ غَفَّارًا يُرْسِلِ السَّمَاءَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِدْرَارًا. If you say astaghfirullah, what happens? You intervene in the movement of clouds. Can you intervene in the movement of clouds? Yeah, you can. Say astaghfirullah, you will. SubhanAllah. Allah said that in the Quran. That's not from my own pocket. استغفروا ربكم إنه كان غفارا في سورة نوح. For ask Allah forgiveness, He will forgive you. What else? He will open the skies for you. What does that mean? Rain is going to come. يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا. What else? Only with astaghfirullah, one word, you intervene with the movement of clouds. What else do you intervene with? وَيُمْدِدْكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ وَبَنِينَ. What does that mean? Gives you money and children. Everybody loves money and children. You want money, 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 and lots of children. That's what the human being, Allah created the human being like that. So Allah says, say astaghfirullah, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not only move the clouds for you, and you'll have rain. Rain, what does it mean? So if you have land, that means khair, that means good things coming. وَيُمْدِدْكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ جَنَّاتٍ. He will also create for you, what? Jannat. Jannah, what does it mean? Farms and gardens. It also interferes in the agriculture. And it interferes in the rate of what? Of the population. That because when you have lots of kids and offspring, it interferes epidemiologically and biostatistically with what? With the rate of birth and the rate of death and all these things. See, one word. And what else? وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ جَنَاتٍ وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ أَنْهَارًا. It interferes in the geography. So you have now rivers coming out that you didn't have before. See, one word. Now, I don't want to go to it, I think we talked about this the other time, but that's because one thing you do and one thing you say will have all these effects. Let's go back to the ayah that we started with. أَلَمْ تَرَ إِلَى الَّذِينَ يَزْعُمُونَ أَنَّهُمْ. Don't you see those who claim that they believe in, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that they believe in what have been revealed upon you, and those upon the messengers before you, but yet, what do? And in certain cases and judgments, they go and they get judged by the pbuh, by those who don't believe in Allah. The sabab nuzul of the ayah, according to many scholars, is there's one guy, at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, one person, who was around the Prophet. He said, I'm Muslim, and he said Shahada and everything. And he had a business with a Jewish man. So they had a little fight. So that Jewish man, what did he tell him? He said, I accept your Prophet as a judge. Even though he's not Muslim. But he said, I accept your Prophet as a judge. Because he knows the Prophet ﷺ will not cheat, will not take briberies, will not side with one against the other. He said, I accept. But the guy, the man who claimed to be Muslim, he said no. He said, let's go to somebody else, because he knows he may have influence on that other judge, and he will judge between us. Allah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exploited him in the Quran. Told the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this man, this is what happened. That's some of also the miracles of the Quran is that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Jibreel alayhi salam tells him what happened. So the ayah came and told the Prophet ﷺ, said, haven't you seen, this is the man who claims that he believes in you and what has been revealed to you and what has been revealed to the messengers before you, but yet when it comes down to judgment and benefits, he goes to pbuh. He goes to people who don't believe in Allah, and he holds them as judges, and he likes their judgment. وَقَدْ أُمِرُوا أَن يَكْفُرُوا بِهِ. And if he is a true Muslim, then he should have what? He should say, I don't want to go to the pbuh to be my judge. A pbuh, not judge. Pbuh means Taghiyah, Baghi. How can you be judge? No, you have to be straight. Adil. Right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَكَيْفَ إِذَا أَصَابَتْهُمْ مُصِيبَةٌ بِمَا قَدَّمَتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ. It means, then how is it if they receive or if they start experiencing and suffer from disasters and from hardships? Why? Because what they have accumulated with their own hands, what they have committed with his own hands. This man, he committed aggression against himself with his own hands. He didn't want to go by the rules of Allah, by the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He wanted to go be judged by the laws of somebody else who doesn't believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why hardship comes to him. That's why disasters come to him. That's why many things happen to him. Catastrophes. This is a general rule. And Ibra, this is in the Quran. All the ayahs basically, the rule in the Quran says that we take the lesson from the general meaning of the ayah. And the general meaning of the ayah is very clear. Saying, if we believe in Allah and the Day of Judgment, then we cannot go to the pbuh so they can judge between us. What do? We go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Prophet. Because if we don't do that, what will happen? فَكَيْفَ إِذَا أَصَابَتْهُمْ مُصِيبَةٌ بِمَا قَدَّمَتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ. Then what will they do when then problems and hardships and disasters and things will happen to them because of what they did, what they accumulated, what we have done? I've always stressed this, and I always continue to stress this. Anything we do is accountability. I will ask you this question. If someone in this land, let's say there are laws in this country, you have law, you have the Constitution, you have Justice Department, you have all these people, authorities. If you violate the law of the land, if someone goes and steals, as I'm going to steal, he goes to a bank and he robs the bank, what happens? The authorities, the Justice Department follows him, says we're looking for this man, he robbed the bank, let's get him. So they start looking for him, and if they catch him, what do? They say, you stole. So that means our law says if you steal, you have to go to jail. Right away, they put him in jail. Someone kills. What do you have to do with that? تقدموا, please come closer to Allah so the people in the back they can sit. Move up, start about people. Someone steals. And if the law catches him, what will happen? They will say, if you kill, the law says if you kill, then you have to be killed, sentenced to death right away. And you use this as justice, right? Isn't it just for someone who steals to get away with it? It's not just. If you steal, you should be punished for it. Is it just for someone to kill somebody and get away with it? No, it's not just. If someone kills somebody, they have to be accountable for it. The system in the world that people made, these systems and these constitutions and all these systems, the French law, the British law, whatever, all these laws, the laws in the Muslim countries and the Arab countries, basically are laws that man made. Some few people, I'm sure intelligent, in a certain way, but up to a certain level, they sat and they wrote laws. If you steal, this is what you do. If you kill, this is what happens. If you do this, if you do that, if you do that, huh? And they